Hi, this is Rachelle with Journal Life's Journey, and today I'm going to try to do a little experiment and make my own fabric tape. So I'm using this cloth medical tape from Walmart. It's the Equate brand, and I have some Dollar Tree wax paper that doesn't work so well for what I purchased it for. So I'm hoping this will be a good surface to work on to make my fabric tape. So I'm just cutting off a few strips of the tape and placing them on the wax paper. And once that's done, I'm going to take my paint bowl and add several drops of acrylic ink. So this isn't paint, it's acrylic ink. And I'm adding a little water to it to thin it out even more. And I'm just going to take my brush and brush it onto the tape. Now, this is something I haven't done before. This is an experiment. I wanted fabric tape for a specific project, and the Tim Holtz tape that I have just was too colorful for what I needed. And I just want to be able to make my own. That way, I can make the colors what I need. I can add whatever embellishment on the tape that I want, change the design. So it'll be nice to be able to make my own fabric tape. And it seems like the acrylic ink is going to be the answer. So I am just going to go ahead and finish painting the rest of these strips. And I'm not too worried about getting an even coat on each piece because the project that I'm making these for is a more grungy type project. So I want it to have more of an aged, grungy look. So now that I've applied the ink to all the strips, they're mostly dry. I'm going to take some of my stamps from Dollar Tree and try and add a little texture and pattern to the pieces. And I'm using the archival ink in jet black to do that. And I'm going to test several different mediums on the tape to see which I like best. The stamping seems to give more of a subtle look, so it kind of is pushed back a little bit. It's not in your face. But I also think with another color background on the tape, that the stamping with the black would be pretty striking. It would stand out a lot more. Here I'm just trying another one of the stamps from that set. So as you can see, it's very, very subtle, and that could work depending on the look that you're going for. But I'm going to try a few other techniques. I'm using my script stamp with the uh, archival ink. Again, it's giving a very subtle result. So I'm going for a little more impact. I have this white ink pad. I don't even know what kind of ink this is. It's very strange, but I'm using that on the stamp just to see how that's going to show up on the tape. And it shows up pretty well. It kind of made a mess on the stamp, but once I clean that up, I'm going to test out this gold ink. I've had this gold ink in my stash for several years, and I think it's pretty much dried out. So I do spritz it with a little water to see if I can activate it, just so I can test it. It does activate it a little bit, but it's not as bright as I would like it to be. So I try adding even more water, and it does a little something, but not very much. So then I go for my white Jelly Roll pen and actually writing on the tape. I think I wrote The Raven, the Edgar Allan Poe poem on the tape or part of it. And I like that effect much better. So I pull out my specialty markers and pens, and I'm going to see if I can find something else that I can use to write on the tape. I have quite a few markers and pens in here from Five Below, and I think the two that I end up using, other than the Jelly Roll, are both from Five Below. So there isn't like a brand name or anything that I can give you. I can just tell you that I found them at Five Below. I've had them for a couple of years. Now this one doesn't give me the bright gold that I want. It's more subtle, but I think that works well with the project that I need it for. And for this one, I think I'm doing, what is it, Bubble Bubble, Toil and Trouble? Is that Macbeth? I'm not sure. I can't remember, but I was writing that out on the tape. And I think that came out really nice. So the white stamping, the white Jelly Roll, and the gold marker were the best so far. Now this is another pen from Five Below. It is a gold pen and it comes out really nice and bright. It's hard to see it, I think, on the video, but with this pen, because it's a pen, it's more precise and it has more of a glittered gold effect where the other gold is a marker, so the tip was more blunt and it wasn't as precise. And I like this the best. So for if I'm doing a darker tape, I think writing on the fabric tape will be the better choice to me versus stamping. If it's something lighter, then I think the stamping would be great. But I really like how the writing looks on it. And next time, maybe I'll try uh, writing in a different direction or maybe several different directions just to see what kind of look that gives. So this is one of the pieces for the project that I'm working on. It is a flap, so it's gonna flap over, and I wanted something to reinforce the folds. So that was why I initially wanted the fabric tape, and I didn't want to use Tim Holtz because it just didn't go with this. So I'm just gonna add a little glue stick to this just to make sure that it sticks and stays in place. It's pretty sticky on its own, even after putting it on the wax paper, applying the ink and, working with it, but I want to make sure that it sticks. So I'm lining my piece up on my mat to make sure that the tape is straight. And here I'm going to add some glue directly to the paper and add another piece of the tape. And I think this is going to work out great. So now all I need to do when I need to reinforce those folds is make my own tape. And I think it's going to stick great. And it's an easy, inexpensive way to do it. And you can customize it to look however you want it to look. So that is the beginnings of a flap or fold out for the project that I'm working on. This is for the coffin book. So if you've been following along on my other channel, Scrapcraftastic, this is for the book that the coffin composition notebook will rest in. So here is another flap that I had already started working on, and I'm going to go ahead and add some of the tape to the folds here as well. Again, I'm lining it up on the mat, so that helps me line up the tape to make sure that I place the tape down straight. And because this is a wider gusset, I'm using 2 strips to cover the entire gusset. And I think that's going to be great. I'll end up adding strips to this gusset as well, the wide piece. But for now, I think this is going to work out perfectly. So these are the leftover strips, and I'm really happy with how this turned out with just some medical tape, some cloth tape from Walmart, and acrylic ink. Let me know in the comments if you'll be giving this a try. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll holler at y'all next time. Bye.